Hello everyone and welcome back to the breakdown. Today I want to be teaching you how to download, set up, install, do everything. Go over every single part of Essentials, a complete admin tutorial for you using EssentialsX on your server, or the original Essentials for that matter, but if you haven't already, update to EssentialsX. But nevertheless, this video is brought to you by Apex Minecraft Hosting. Go to the first link down below, thebreakdown.xyz/Apex. Get an awesome 24-hour DDoS protected Minecraft server for just a few bucks a month. It is the best Minecraft server hosting company out there. They're so good, we use them ourselves to host our own network server, play.breakdowncraft.com. You can check out play.breakdowncraft.com's information linked in the description down below to try Apex before you buy it. But nonetheless, guys, if you want an awesome Minecraft server, thebreakdown.xyz/Apex is the way to go. But let's go ahead and jump on into EssentialsX. Now, for EssentialsX, you obviously need to download Essentials, and to do that, you can go to the second link down below and click on download here. There are some more experimental builds here on their Jenkins server if you are interested in, say, 1.13, but for now, we're going to just do this in 1.12. That's the last stable version. Click download there. It's going to take us off, and it will get the download started. Well, that's checking us to make sure we're not DDoSing. We can jump over here to Vault as well. Vault is a dependency that you will need for Essentials to work at all. And as you can see, Essentials is downloaded in the bottom left down there. So we want Essentials downloaded. I don't think it's necessarily required, but I have never ran Essentials without Vault, so we might as well get it. It's going to let us manage the Essentials economy and all of the awesome features that Essential has. So, yeah, we're going to get to the rest of these in a minute. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and just drop Essentials on our server. Doing this is as easy as anything else. Just open up your bucket, spigot, or paper server. Most likely paper if you want a super clean, super lean server. And drop in your plugins here. Wait for it. Hold on. Got to keep Vault there. So we're going to go ahead and drop in Vault. But if we notice, if we just drop in EssentialsX, this isn't a jar file. We only jar files work in the plugins folder. We know this. So go ahead, double click on that. And in here you will see a bunch of different things. Now, there is the main EssentialsX, and EssentialsX we definitely need. None of these other add-ons will work, and that's what the rest of this is. These are add-ons to Essentials. First up, we have Essentials anti-build here. Now, overall, this is not going to be used. I don't know of any servers that use this. Most likely there's people commenting in the description down below, I use anti-build all the time, and I'm sorry if that's you, but we're not going to be covering that in this tutorial because I've never seen it really used. And on top of that, WorldGuard is so much better than Essentials anti-build, and I don't know why you wouldn't just use WorldGuard instead of Essentials anti-build. We've actually got a WorldGuard tutorial that you can check out at the eye at the top of your screen, so we're going to skip that one. Essentials Chat. Now, this is one I would recommend. It lets you customize the look of your chat, your join messages, your leave messages, how people's chats actually look, the color they are, whether they're prefix, their suffix, things like that is shown. It manages all of that, so it is something I would recommend having on every single server, unless you have another plugin managing chat, which most likely you're probably not. I use Essentials Chat on all of my servers because I've never had a need for anything else. I mean, we even have buyable suffixes on our server, and Essentials Chat works perfectly with that. GUIP, no really need for that, and you'll never need that. Essentials Protect, then this is basically just Essentials signs. It allows for tons of permissions and things like that to do with signs, changing signs, moving signs, doing all of that stuff. We're going to look more into permissions later, and you'll see what I mean. But overall, Essentials Protect is just not something most people are going to use unless you want to use signs for changing things like damage you receive. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do and use permissions to allow people to use those signs or not. We're not going to be going over it here. Essentials Spawn allows us to set the spawn of our server, do /spawn in general, all sorts of stuff like that, set a newbie spawn and things like that. So we want to make sure that's installed. Now, it's at this point I do want to mention that you will need Notepad++ to do the rest of this tutorial, or a competent text editor. Notepad++ is free, that's why I recommend that. So you can go here and click on this big green download button and it'll download for your system. You can install it just like any other program and you will have a free text editor. It's what we're going to be using here. It allows us to view the YML files and things like that in a cleaner, more easier to understand way. But if we go ahead and minimize this here, we can run our server and generate the config. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click on run server here. And then if we open up the plugins folder, we'll see Essentials will create its own folder. There's Vault and then Essentials will start on up. Right there it is. Now that we've got this Essentials folder created and everything is done over here, which as we can see there is done, I'm going to go ahead and stop that server. No big deal. Now let's go ahead and open Essentials here, and here's everything that we're going to be configuring and doing. Now we're going to be doing some stuff in game, so don't freak out about that, but overall the first place you want to look with Essentials is your config.yml. So let's go ahead, right click on that, and then edit it with Notepad++ if you have that installed. Otherwise you'll need to open this up with your text editor of choice. So let's go ahead, I'll move it into the center here, that way we can see it. And this is basically everything to do with Essentials. Now, overall, you need to read through it all, just in case, so you know. But I'm going to be mentioning some of the top points here, some of the big things that you need to look at when you're using Essentials, when you're setting up Essentials, all of that stuff. Now, Notepad++ here seems to have locked up on me, so let me go ahead and close out of that and edit with Notepad++ again, and there we go. Now it is. Now it's working fine. So once we're in here, the first thing I would look at is the opposite name color. So if someone has op on your server, say we come over here and we're to type in /op space your username, right? Close out because the server was stopped. But if you type op space your username, do you want their name color to be different from any other name colors on your server? In my case, I don't. So I'm going to change that to white, right? If we wanted to do something crazy, we could do it like A. We'll actually make all mods names green. That way we can see that in game. Nickname prefix is basically what you want before somebody's nickname. Now, if you don't want anything before their nickname, you can delete that, but I would recommend having something before a user's nickname, because otherwise it's going to be a bit difficult to tell if it's a nickname or an IGN and how to use that and all that stuff. So that's what I would recommend doing there. What's the maximum length someone can make their nickname? I would recommend setting this, because if you set it to something like 99, it's going to be crazy. People will use super long nicknames. 15 seems pretty good on our server and most others, so I'll just leave that default. Now I do want to go ahead and talk about one more thing on this top part here, which is the change display name. Now, for us to get this to work on our server with Perms and do everything how we wanted to do it, we had to change this to false. So that might be something you want to look into if you're having issues with prefixes or suffixes displaying. You might want to change that to false. We'll just leave it as true for now because, I mean, why not? But that is something you might want to look into. Now we're going to go ahead and jump ahead a bit in the config all the way down to line 374, which might change in the future as they add more code, remove more code. But basically, if you hit Control F, you can search for what we're looking for. And that is right here, the auto AFK, right? So auto AFK is basically when, if someone doesn't move in game, it'll come up and say this user is AFK. 300 seconds is where it is by default. I think that's about 5 minutes or so. And then auto AFK kick is how long until someone is kicked for being AFK. By default, that's set to -1, but I would recommend upping that. This is in seconds, by the way, so it's 300 seconds, 500 seconds, so on and so forth. I would recommend changing this to meet your server's needs. If you don't let people get AFK kicked, right, if you just keep this as -1, which means off, then yeah, your server could end up getting some lag from everybody running their mob farms and stuff like that. On our servers, ranked players can AFK, but non-ranked players can't. However you want to do it is up to you, but it is something worth noting here. Now, freeze AFK players, this is kind of funny. Basically, if they are /AFK, they're frozen, they can't move, monsters can't attack them and things like that. They can't move, push them, and all sorts of stuff. That could be a good idea depending on your server. We typically leave that as false because there's no really reason for it. From there, let's go ahead and skip down just a bit to 416 here. Now, this is custom join and leave messages. Basically, what that means is, what do we want it to say when someone joins the server? What do we want to say when someone leaves the server? You could do something like and 7 and then do like a colon and then do plus or and 8, I'm sorry, and then do a plus and then do and 7 and then do another one of those. What that is going to do is display in chat in gray and green, right? The plus will be green, the things around the plus will be gray, and then we can do their username, which as it says right here is their username. Now you might be wondering, Nick, why does and 7 mean green or gray? Why does and A mean green? Well, that is going to be our bucket color codes, which if we come up here, I do have conveniently open for us. These are all of your bucket color codes, and you could even make these italicized, by the way, if we wanted to. Do and O, so let's go ahead and add that. One thing I will go ahead and say, if you're going to use like bold or italicized, you want to put it after your color. So you have and A here for your color, then you want to put and O after your color to make it italicized. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and look at more. There's all sorts of different bucket color codes here that you can use. Black, blue, green, indigo, all of that stuff. So you can look through those, and any of those will work. Just do and 8 for, you know, dark gray here, and 7 for gray. So if we come back over here, we have and 7. That means that little bracket's going to be gray. Then I do and A and O for the plus. So that means the plus sign is going to be an italicized green plus sign. And then we go back to and 7. That's going to negate all of these colors here, and that means that's going to be gray. Then we can make the username white, by the way, with and F. Right? Because if we come back over to our bucket color codes, and F is white. So yeah, that is how you can set that up. That's kind of the general goal there. We can go ahead and copy this just to keep things the same on our server. And what we'll do instead is paste that in there, and we'll do this from green, because someone's joined the server, it's green. Someone leaves the server, it's red. We'll do and C right here for this to be red. And then we want it to obviously be a minus, and we'll keep everything else the same. That'll keep all the server looking very, very similar and like it's meant to be that way. Now let's go ahead and move on in our config just a bit here to set home. You see this line 546 for me, again, probably different for you. Basically, this is going to allow people on your server to set multiple homes. Now, there's a lot of information up here that I would recommend reading, but basically, set essentials.sethome.multiple.rank, right? So whatever these are is what you'll put there. For example, if you wanted staff to be able to set 10 homes as it is by default, this would be essentials.sethome.multiple.staff for their rank. You could add in more here. Let's say you had a VIP plus rank. You could do VIP plus, colon, space, and then they can set 8 homes, for example. And then that permission would be essentials.sethome.multiple.vip plus. They'll also need another permission, which is just essential set home, so they can actually set homes. But yeah, that's basically it there, and that's where you can configure how many homes your ranked players can set, if you want to give ranked players more homes, or you want to give staff more homes, things like that. Now, moving on our config, we're going quite a ways. We're looking for chat formatting. Now, you might want to look at Essentials Eco here as well. Basically, starting balance is how much money you start with, max money, and all that stuff, but overall, you can probably leave that the same. Moving on down through here, though, we want this, which is Essentials Chat. Essentials Chat is going to control how our entire chat looks and things of that nature. Radius, I would recommend leaving that as 0 to keep chat global. As far as format goes, though, this is where it can get really interesting. Let's say you wanted to add in something like a prefix. Well, what we would do is go ahead and do that little thing right here. See that in front of display name there? You see that? Copy that, paste it right here, and then do prefix. And then you want to copy that one at the end of display name, right? So copy that, and then do prefix, and then we'll do a space, and then we'll go ahead and do a bold. So we go ahead and do and L, that's bold. I have the bucket color codes memorized if you can't tell. And then we'll do 2 double arrows. So now we'll have a prefix, a display name, and then it'll have that as bold. And then we can go ahead and make our messages italicized, because why not? And then we'll make them something weird. We'll like blue, I don't know. And then we can also make our display names orange with and 6. It's not going to look the best, but it's just for demonstration. You can see what we're doing there. That's how you can format chat, make it look certain ways, change how it looks. That's about when you join in to some servers, they have a custom and different looking chat, you know, like we do on play.breakdowncraft.com. That's how it's done. It's done with the chat format here in EssentialsX. Moving on down to near the bottom of the config here, we can really start to see how servers can be customized. So announce format, this is going to announce whenever someone joins into your server, it's basically going to be whatever you want it to say, like welcome this player. Like if you join our server, it says welcome your username to the server or to Breakdowncraft. So go ahead and change this here. We'll do like and 6 to welcome, and then we'll change their username to red to the server, right? So now whenever someone new was to join this server, it would say this message in this way. You can actually change this to other text, to our server, for example, instead of the server, or just put your server name. Whatever you want to do, you've got options, and that's how you can configure it. Now, for spawn points, if you want to set a newbie's spawn point or a new user spawn point to where they spawn the first time in a different place than when they, you know, just join in and do /spawn normally, you can set that up there and change what that name is called. The kit that you want to give them on the start. Now, we're going to create this kit later, so I'm just going to do a new player is what I'm going to call that. That way, whenever a new player joins in, they'll get that new player kit that, again, we're going to create later on. And actually, let's just go ahead and do that right now. So, you've set up this entire config. You do want to make sure you save that config. You can do file save or just do Control S, which is what I did to save this. Now, kits are managed in Essentials in a very cool way. I'm going to go ahead and minimize our background here, and then we're going to go back into our config file, and you see there's a kits.yml. If we right-click on that and then click with Edit with Notepad++, we can see all of our kits are listed in here. Just a note for 1.13 users, you can't use item IDs. You would need to use the actual name of the item as listed on Minecraft. I'll list a place where you can go and get all of the item names in Minecraft in the description down below. But let's say we wanted to do this as Iron Sword, right? Sword? What did I say? Iron Sword. We can do that right here. Change that. But since we're in 1.12, we can still use the numbers. So that's what we've got there. Now, you might be like, do I really have to create all my kits this way? It can kind of be confusing, especially when they have a lot of lore and stuff like that on them, like these do. Is there any way to do that easier? Yeah, in game. So let's go ahead and jump in game. So there we go. Server is now started. Minecraft is now open. If we jump into our server here. Oh, wait, what was that? Play.breakdowncraft.com, the best Minecraft server in the multiverse. If you guys are looking for an awesome server to come play on play.breakdowncraft.com. Nevertheless, if we direct connect to our IPv4 address here, it will log us right on in, and we can even see our custom join message. You see that? It says plus Nick's Games over there. Yeah, that's a custom join message. See, there it is. We customized that, and that plus sign is italicized, and we've got the little brackets around it and everything. That was something we did custom. Welcome Nick's Games to the server. We changed that to be gold like it is. We also changed our name to be red. That's set up. Pretty cool stuff. Now, I can't do anything right now because I'm not opt. So let me go ahead and opt myself. And actually, we can test that as well. If we type in chat right now, it does have our custom chat with that Nick's Games in gold, the bold arrows, and then the chat in blue. Again, doesn't look pretty, but oh well. But if I go ahead and opt myself, it will actually change the color of my name. Why? Because we set it up to do that. Remember at the top of the config, back here, we changed it to where those names would be green. See that? Ops colors names are A or green. And so with that, we are now green because we're opt. So pretty simple stuff, pretty easy set up to get all this stuff done. As you can see, it all comes together in game pretty quickly. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do /top because that is an Essentials command for those of you who didn't know. And now that we're up here, we can kind of get started with our kits. So the first thing I would recommend doing for your kits is getting everything in your inventory. And the easiest way to do that is just do /gmc. And then we'll go ahead and get our newbie kit set up. Now, we obviously want a pickaxe in that. And let's why not go ahead and make this an OP server. So we'll do a pickaxe and we'll do a sword just for time reasons. Now, having these in your inventory, if you created the kit right now, you could. But what if we wanted to add enchantments? Well, Essentials makes that easy. You can do /enchant, right like so. And then you can do whatever, like durability. And then you can do like 3. Durability 3. There we go. So now durability 3 has been added to that. We can also do things like unbreaking 5, right? And you can even enable unsafe enchantments. So if we do unbreaking 5 on this, that'll go. Sorry, unbreaking has to be 1 to 3. There we go. We can do efficiency, all sorts of stuff like that. And if we come over here and search, we can do unsafe enchantments. If I can find it, right here it is. So we've got unsafe enchantments. And if we go ahead and change that to true here, we might have to restart the server, but we can probably do /essentials reload. And now suddenly it'll allow us to do that unbreaking 5 on this because Essentials enchants or unsafe enchants are enabled. We could actually do something crazy like unbreaking 22, right? And so now this has unbreaking 22 as its enchantment level. As you can see, enchant level 22. It's so big it doesn't know what to do with it. 10 is the highest you can go, by the way, with it still looking okay in game. Just gives you the X Roman numeral. But yeah, so we've done that. Let's go ahead and give this /enchant sharpness 15. So we go ahead and do sharpness 15 on that. There we go. So now that has sharpness 15 and that has unbreaking 10. So we've got that set up. Now, to create our kit is pretty simple. Just do /create kit and then name your kit whatever you want. Now, we wanted to name this new player. That way, whenever a new player joined in, they would get this kit. So /create kit, new player. And then, oh, we need a delay. That is my bad. But see, Essentials is helping me out here. We need a delay. This delay is going to be in seconds. I'm just going to do this every 60 seconds. A player can get this every 60 seconds if they have the permissions for it. You do essentials.kit.whatever kit you want if you want them to have the permissions for this kit. But permissions we'll talk about just a tad later. I'm getting ahead of myself. But that is how you can create a kit. And now if we do /kit new player, it'll give us that in game. And we can spam it. And by the way, we know that's working because they're stacking. But we can also see that all those do, in fact, have unbreaking 10. And all of these do have sharpness incredible 15. So, yeah, that's kind of how you can do that. That's how you can set up unsafe enchantments, and that's how you can add kits. I'm dropping knowledge everywhere. And then again, we have already formatted our chat to look like this. Chat is like this. So there we go. We can see that chat is blue. I'm green because I'm up. If I was to de-op myself real quick, we will be able to see that it is changed now to where my name is gold. I do need to re-op myself, though, for this tutorial to work. So let me go ahead and do that. There we go. So now we've set all this stuff up, but we're still not done. Essentials does so much. It is absolutely incredible, right? So let's go ahead and move on to setting our spawn, right? Because if we do /spawn right now, it puts us in that like underground, like we can't even move here. This is the worst Minecraft spawn ever, by the way. We're just inside of this. I don't know what's up. So if we do /top, we want our spawn to be like on top of this mountain right here. Right, we want to put it like on top of this for some reason. To do that, just do /set spawn and then just hit enter, right? And that's going to set the spawn for everyone. So now if I do /spawn, I can do that. If I do /back, it'll take me there. Let's jump down here. By the way, /back, yet another Essentials plugin. But if we do /spawn, there we go. Now it takes us to spawn. That's how you can do that. Let's say you want to just set that new player spawn. You want a new players to spawn at the bottom of the mountain, looking at the majestic spawn up there. We can do /set spawn and then do whatever we called that spawn at the very, very bottom. By the way, this kits.yml is wanting to be changed. Why? Because now it has that new player kit, and we can edit all of that right here as well. So if we wanted to add in a diamond pickaxe to this kit, or a diamond shovel, we could just do -diamond _shovel, and then 1, and then that is pretty much it. I just need to make sure that is correct and that we are formatted at the correct spacing right quick. Now we should be able to save that. Come over to game, do /essentials, space reload, and then do /clear to clear our inventory, and then do /kit, new player, boom, and now we have a diamond shovel in that kit. So you can edit in game like that, or you can edit it over here. You've got options. That's what's great. But how do you set that newbie spawn? Well, first and foremost, I need to see what it was called. It was luckily at the bottom of our config, and we did call that newbies. So how do you set this? Well, pretty simple. Let's go ahead and just copy that. That way I don't forget about it. But you do /set spawn and then enter the newbies thing. So there we go. Set spawn location group for newbies, which is a new player joining in, is now here. Pretty simple stuff and pretty cool. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, post those in the comment section down below. But we're still not done, right? That's just kind of getting started here. Or not getting started, but we're kind of about halfway, I'd say, through the tutorial. Maybe a little over halfway. So let's go ahead and look at two different things. Every time you join into the server, you're going to get a message of the day. So if we go ahead and join server here, we'll be able to see that the message of the day is welcome Nick's games, type/help, type/list, all of this stuff. You can also check that in game by doing /motd, and it'll give you the message of the day. You also have rules in game, and it will give you the rules. Now, as you can see, this doesn't exist. It's creating one. So now if we go ahead and do /rules, it'll have the rules there. So how do you change these? What do you do to change the rules and the message of the day? Well, let's go ahead and again refresh our server. If I can find the file, I've got a lot of stuff open. There we go. Go ahead and refresh our server. Go into plugins, essentials, and now we have an motd.txt and a rules.txt. Here's where you want to edit those. So let's go ahead and change the message of the day first. So just right click on it. We'll edit with Notepad++. Even though you don't have to with this, you could edit this in like Notepad. But I'm going to do some color changing. So we're going to do boom, change that to B. We'll change the player name to red. So and C. And then we'll do an and B at the end to make it look all nice and pretty. Now, I don't care about people doing /list. I want them to do /rules. So let's do /rules there. I also don't like this being red. We'll change this to green real quick, and then we can just change this at the bottom to and L and O, and then we'll change this to a orange to say check out play.breakdowncraft.com. Boom. Got to get that plug everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Again, just Control-S to do that. Come in game, do /essentials, space reload, right like so, and then do /motd, and the message of the day is changed, even with check out play.breakdowncraft.com. The best server in the multiverse, guys. That's what it is. So as you can see, there it all is, and it's all set up and looking mighty fine. So if you have any questions about setting up the message of the day, you can do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the rules off camera just because, I mean, it's the same process. If you open up the rules here in Notepad++, you'll be able to see here are all the rules. Now, one thing that is worth noting is pages. It will automatically set up pages. So I'm not going to do all of these. I'm just going to copy these all down, just right like so, machine gun fire out of the keyboard. If we do Essentials reload and then do /rules, it will have created pages for the rules. See, there's rules 1, then we can do /rules 2 to get to the page 2 of the rules section there. But bucket color codes work here as well, so if we want to go ahead and change this to and A, we could change this to and B, we could, and then change this one down at the bottom to like and, I don't know, let's do something weird like and 0. So let's go ahead and save those, do Essentials reload here, boom, and then do /rules. We can see those are now that color, and then /rules 2, the bottom one is now black, which is and 0. So that is how you can set up rules and all of that stuff, but there's one more thing we need to talk about here. Lastly, we need to talk about perms. There are a ton of perms in Essentials. Now, here they are. And when I say there are a ton of permissions. I mean, an overwhelming amount of permissions. Over 430 permissions to be exact, all linked to over 130 different commands. By the way, once you're on this link in the description, which by the way, this is linked in the description down below, you can come to the commands list here and see all of the Essentials commands. But I would recommend going through and setting all of these permissions, giving all of them time of day. Some of them you won't add, sure, but if you know they're there, you at least know they're there and can add them in the future if you want. It takes me hours every time we roll out a new server, every time we do anything new on our network to set up the Essentials perms. But I do it individually for every server because I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody. Last time we did this, right, when we went through and set up our last server, I realized there was a ton more stuff we could give players in other game modes. That's why it's important to do this every time because you always notice new stuff. I mean, there is tons of different permissions here. But go through all of these, add all of these. I recommend using Luck Perms as your permissions plugin. You can check out the I at the top of the screen up there if you want to see my tutorial on how to set up Luck Perms. It's a complete guide just like this one is. But overall, there are tons of stuff this adds. From everything from /echest to /workbench to /repair, /heal, /feed. It can even manage bans for you, okay? Like if we come up here, we can see that bans are managed right here. Ban, Essentials.ban, ban exempt, it has temp bans built in. And then if you want to see the modules, you can actually sort those. So as you can see here are all of the perms I was talking about with Essentials Protect. Essentials Protect signs down here, break balance, what signs you can break, what signs you can create, whether or not you can use colors on your signs, all sorts of stuff. It's all listed down here for Essentials Protect. Essentials Chat also has its own stuff, and you can do that there. Nicknames, want to do that, and they cover it in Essentials. This is where you'll find it. Vanish, right in game, so you can do /v, spy on your some X-rayers. That's managed by Essentials. That's why it's important to go through all this, so you know what is managed by what and what is on the game. But nevertheless, that is how you can set up Essentials. You've gotten the basics down at this point. It's a matter of going through all these commands and learning them, and that would make this video that's probably already 30 minutes long into 2 or 3 hours, so we don't want to do that here. That is for you to do on your own time. If you have any questions, post those in the comment section down below. I am more than happy to answer them. I love talking about this stuff. It's what I do. It's what I love, so be sure to ask me in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Also, join us on Discord, link down below, and on play.breakdowncraft.com, our incredible Minecraft server. I'll see you over there. Nevertheless, guys, give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome plugin tutorials, mod tutorials, all sorts of stuff in Minecraft. My name is Nick, and I am out. Peace.